Welcome to SAP Knowledge in a Nutshell. Let's break down how the productive test simulation is executed. We'll first take a brief look in our SAP system how we have set up our testing scenario, and then we'll trace the authorization data utilizing PTS in exciting times. This best practice approach is a complete new way how to perform SAP testing for authorizations passively and improve user acceptance testing in SAP. Before we start testing, let's take a look at our user setup. We've already ensured that all necessary steps for the exciting time setup and customizing have been completed in the last session. So let's take a look at our test user in SU01. This user currently has basic roles and an accounting role containing too much authorizations. This role covers not only all authorizations the user needs for his daily business, but even more, which is critical. Now, let's check our reference user, which will get our newly designed accounting role that we would like to test during PTS. For productive test simulation, the reference user always has the new role, which usually contains fewer authorizations than the old roles. In our case, the new role includes some basic transactions like FB03 or MM03. But no organizational levels are maintained in the role profile. Most authorization values are filled with dummy values, meaning the role has very few authorizations. The goal here is to collect data about missing authorizations based on the actions we will execute during testing. Now that everything is set up, the admin can start the productive test simulation for the selected users in the Exciting Times administration cockpit via Start Pseudo Sessions. Let's search for our dialog user and select the line with the respective reference user. After that, we need to document our actions by typing in a reason and setting the duration for how long the productive test simulation should run. Once that's done, we continue, and the reference user is automatically assigned in the background. Also, the collector job has started to trace the user activities. Before we log in as our test user, let's take another quick look at the dialog user in SU01. The reference user and its roles, our newly created accounting role, are now assigned, which means it's now being tested by our end user. Now we are logged in as our test user in the productive system. Let's walk through some of the steps he could take in his daily work. First, we will open FB03 and display some accounting documents, which is part of the new role. This will work without any issues, even though there might be missing authorizations like specific company codes in the new role, because the user still has the old roles that allow him to perform these actions. Next, let's try opening F22. This transaction is currently not included in the new role, but since the user still has his old accounting role assigned, these old authorizations are still valid and still enable him to access this transaction as the user always used to. Finally, let's try a transaction that is not included in either the old or the new role, such as SU01. Here we'll encounter an error due to missing authorizations, as none of the roles provide the necessary permissions for this transaction. For now, we finished testing and are back in the Exciting Times administration cockpit as our admin user. To stop a simulation session, you can simply wait until the requested session time ends, and the reference user assignment will automatically be revoked and the collector job stops recording trace data for this session. You can also end a session manually in advance if you want to. This can be done using the option Terminate Pseudo Sessions. After selecting the corresponding users again, you will have to enter a reason for the early termination of the session. That's it for the execution of PTS. The next steps are analyzing and evaluating the collected test data, which we will take a look in a future lesson. Thank you for watching. Would you like to find out more? Check out our video channel on our homepage or feel free to contact us. We will get back to you as soon as possible.